You. Yes, you. I see you there on Facebook eating your lunch. Between you and me, how secure are you in your job? That the seat you are in will comfortably hold you until retirement? The answer is most likely no. A report published earlier this year by FT Confidential Research revealed that Malaysians are actually the most pessimistic among its Southeast Asian peers when it comes to matters of employment, lagging the likes of Thailand and Indonesia. Yes, we are less optimistic than a country that sentences you to jail if you look at the king's dog funny. And the study is counting both those who are already in jobs and those who are looking. In a way, it isn't hard to believe this. It seems like in the past few months, we've been inundated by news of companies cutting staff in order to keep their boats afloat as the Malaysian economy got weaker. The sharp drop in commodity prices also shook a sector that was once thought of as rock solid, oil and gas, with national oil company Petronas laying off 1,000 of its staff. This follows its peers BP that cut 4,000 jobs and Shell that cut 6,500. It is also not difficult to understand why the very notion of losing one's job makes you panic. After all, if the weak economy represents the rock that is flying at our heads, our habits that led us to hold almost astronomical amounts of debt is certainly the wall we have willingly or unwillingly wedged ourselves against. The scariest thing is that when it comes to employment security, we can't actually control half the factors impacting it. So you can stop stealing your colleague's stationery all you like, but you can't stop the ringgit tanking or political contests that affect commodity prices. Truth be told though, when the economy is bad, you shouldn't be the one worrying about it. That's the government's job, to keep the economy balanced so as to not put all your eggs in one basket. To be fair to the government, they have been attempting to diversify out of its ONG dependence with arguably mixed results. But look, try is the operative word here. I mean, it's not as if the government has had its hands full managing a debt-laden fund whose possible loan default has shaken the confidence of every investor out there from the US to Timbuktu that hurt the currency, right? Right? Oh. Okay, fine, moving on. Funnily enough though, eventually this point may be moot because you sitting there in that plushy office chair may one day be replaced by a robot, some bastard offspring of R2-D2 and C3PO. Hashtag love wins, by the way. This isn't science fiction, rather science fact. Robots are becoming increasingly smarter than people, starting as further back as 20 years ago when IBM's Deep Blue beat chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov. And then there's Apple's Siri. Forget asking her what she's wearing, you perverts. You can actually teach her how to pronounce names a certain way. She learns, she remembers, and if that doesn't freak the go watch Ex Machina. There's even a link on BBC where you can put in your profession and it can calculate your chances of being replaced by a machine. Actually, what are the chances that journalists get replaced by machines? Oh, phew. A 2013 University of Oxford study entitled The Future of Employment, How Susceptible Are Jobs to Automation, identified transportation, logistics, and administrative positions as those that are the most vulnerable. We're talking drivers, teachers, travel agents, and customer service personnel. And it's already happening. In Japan, they debuted a cute robot named Pepper developed by SoftBank Robotics Corp, who will be stationed at completely unmanned retail shops and tasked to cater to the needs of individual customers and recommend them purchases based on their habits. And looking at the list of benefits to employers, how could they not want to hire robots? Robots then get bored, they don't whine, they don't spend hours around the water cooler talking about Game of Thrones. Jon Snow's alive, get over it. And above all, they don't steal the stationery. Seriously, guys, who the hell needs 10 staplers? Eeyore judges you stationery stealers. So all of you there complaining that your life is not exciting or that work is a drag, soon your employers will probably agree with you and replace you with Pepper. Now remember what I said earlier that you couldn't control half of the factors impacting job security? Well, here's the half you can control. You can skill up. As H.G. Wells says, adapt or perish. It seems that we as Malaysians have been trying to move up the value chain for ages, but either the opportunity wasn't there or we've become so comfortable in our complacency that nothing moves. Eventually the future will come knocking and we're going to get caught with our pants down. Because yes, the bad news is we're going to be replaced by robots. The good news is, new jobs are going to take the place of the old ones. They will still need people to create the machines and manage them, for example. And that comes from constant retraining and education. Banks are the perfect example. With internet banking and machines, they don't need people at the counter anymore. What they need are people who can manage relationships with customers. Put it this way, a robot won't be able to understand Ah Chong the mechanic's needs or eat with him at his favorite char kway teow stall. Adapt or perish. Which side are you going to eventually be on? Just saying.